Struggling with math can be tough, but we're here to help. Introducing our specialized mathematics program, designed specifically for students who need that extra boost. From grade 6 to GCE OL, we cover all the basics, ensuring your child builds a solid foundation. Whether they're following the local syllabus, EdXL, or Cambridge curriculum, we've got it covered. And the best part, it's super affordable, just ours. $1,000 per month with a one-time admission fee of ours. $1,000, but hurry, you must get registered before tomorrow to secure your spot. With only 10 students per class, seats are filling up fast. So why wait? Give your child the gift of confidence in math. Deposit the admission fee and the first month's class fee into the provided bank account to reserve your place. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Enroll now and watch your child succeed in mathematics. In the first sample video, you'll see how our classes are conducted, starting with fundamental principles. The second video features a lesson conducted by me, utilizing both Sinhala and English for better comprehension.
Hi, this is Rob. Welcome to Math Antics. In this lesson, we're going to learn some really important things about a whole branch of math called algebra. The first thing you need to know is that algebra is a lot like arithmetic. It follows all the rules of arithmetic, and it uses the same four main operations that arithmetic is built on: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But algebra introduces a new element, the element of the unknown. When you were learning arithmetic, the only thing that was ever unknown was the answer to the problem. For example, you might have the problem 1 plus 2 equals what? The answer isn't known until you go ahead and do the arithmetic. Now, the important thing about algebra is that when we don't know what a number is yet, we use a symbol in its place. That symbol is usually just any letter of the alphabet. A really popular letter to choose is the letter X. So in arithmetic, we would just leave the problem like this: 1 plus 2 equals blank. And we would write in the answer when we did the addition. But in algebra, we'd write it like this: 1 plus 2 equals X. The X is a placeholder that stands for the number that we don't know yet. What we have here is a very basic algebraic equation. An equation is just a mathematical statement that two things are equal. An equation says the things on this side of the equal sign have the same value as the things on the other side of the equal sign. In this case, our equation's telling us that the known values on this side, 1 plus 2, are equal to what's on the other side, which happens to be the unknown value that we're calling X. One of the main goals in algebra is to figure out what the unknown values in equations are. And when you do that, it's called solving the equations. In this equation, it's pretty easy to see that the unknown value is just 3. All you have to do is actually add the 1 and 2 together on this side of the equation, and it turns into 3 equals X, which is the same as X equals 3. So now we know what X is. It's just 3. That almost seems too easy, doesn't it? And that's why in algebra, you're usually given an equation in a more complicated form, like this: X minus 2 equals 1. This is exactly the same equation as 1 plus 2 equals X, but it's been rearranged so that it's not quite as easy to tell what X is. So in algebra, solving equations is a lot like a game where you're given mixed up, complicated equations, and it's your job to simplify them and rearrange them until they're nice simple equations, like X equals 3, where it's easy to tell what the unknown values are. We're going to learn a lot more about how to actually do that, how to solve equations, in the next several videos. But for now, let's learn some important rules about how symbols can and can't be used in algebraic equations. The first rule you need to know is that the same symbol or letter can be used in different algebra problems to stand for different unknown values. For example, in the problem we just solved, the letter X was used to stand for the number 3, right? But X could stand for a different number in a different problem. Like if someone asks us to solve the equation 5 plus X equals 10. In order for the two sides of this equation to be equal, X must have the value 5 in this problem, because 5 plus 5 equals 10. So X, or any other symbol, can stand for different values in different problems. That's okay. But what's not okay is for a symbol to stand for different values in the same problem at the same time. For example, what if you had the equation x plus x equals 10? This equation says that if we add x to x, we'll get 10. And there's a lot of different numbers that we could add together to get 10, like 6 and 4. But if we had the first x stand for 6 and the second x stand for 4, then x would stand for two different values at the same time, and things could get really confusing. If you wanted symbols to stand for two different numbers at the same time, you'd need to use two different symbols, like x and y. So in algebra, whenever you see the same symbol repeated more than once in an equation, it's representing the same unknown value. Like if you see a really complicated algebraic equation like this, where x is repeated a lot of different times, all those x's stand for the same value, and it'll be your job to figure out what that value is. Okay, so for any particular equation, we can't use the same letter to represent two different numbers at the same time. But what about the other way around? Could we use two different letters to represent the same number? Yes, and here's an example of that. Let's say you have the equation a plus b equals 2. What could a and b stand for so that the equation's true? Well, if a was 0 and b was 2, then the equation would be true. Or we could switch them around. If a was 2 and b was 0, the equation would also be true. But there's another possibility. If a was 1 and b was also 1, that would make the equation true, right? So even though a and b are different symbols and would usually be used to represent different numbers, there are times when they might happen to represent the same number. Oh, and this problem can help us understand something very important about how symbols are used in algebra. Did you notice that there were different possible solutions for this equation? In other words, b could have the value 0, 1, or 2 depending on what the value of a was. If a is 0, then b must be 2. If a is 1, then b must be 1. And if a is 2, then b must be 0. B can't have two different values at the same time, but its value can change over time if the value of a changes. In algebra, b is what's called a variable because its value can vary or change. In fact, in this equation, both a and b are variables because their values will change depending on the value of each other. Actually, it's really common in algebra to refer to any letter as a variable, since letters can stand for different values in different problems. But at Mathematics, we'll usually just use the word variable when we're talking about values that can change or vary in the same problem. Alright, so far we've learned that algebra is a lot like arithmetic, but that it includes unknown values and variables that we can solve for in equations. There's one other really important thing that I want to teach you that will help you understand what's going on in a lot of algebra problems, and it has to do with multiplication. Here are the four basic arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Although in algebra, you'll usually see division written in fraction form, like this. In arithmetic, all four operations have the same status, but in algebra, multiplication gets some special treatment. In algebra, multiplication is the default operation. That means if no other arithmetic operation is shown between two symbols, then you can just assume that they're being multiplied. The multiplication is implied. For example, instead of writing a times b, you can leave out the times symbol and just write ab. Since no operation is shown between these two symbols, you know that you're supposed to multiply a and b. Of course, you can't actually multiply a and b until you figure out what numbers they stand for. The advantage of this rule about multiplication is that it makes many algebraic equations less cluttered and easier to write down. For example, instead of this, a times b plus c times d equals 10, you could just write ab plus cd equals 10. You can also use this shorthand when you're multiplying a variable and a known number, like 2x, which means the same thing as 2 times x, or 3y, which means the same thing as 3 times y. Since the symbol and the number are right next to each other, the multiplication is implied. You don't have to write it down. Finally, some good news. Now I never have to write down that pesky multiplication symbol again. Oh yeah. Not so fast. There are some cases in algebra where you still need to use a multiplication symbol. For example, what if you want to show 2 times 5? If you just get rid of the times symbol and put the 2 right next to the 5, it's going to look like the 2-digit number 25, which is not the same as 2 times 5. So, whenever you need to show multiplication between two known numbers, you still have to use the times symbol. unless you use parentheses instead. But aren't parentheses used to show grouping in math? How can you use that to show multiplication? That's a good question. Parentheses are used to group things, but whenever you put two groups right next to each other with no operation between them, guess what operation's implied? Yep, multiplication. For example, if you see this, it means that the group A plus B is being multiplied by the group X plus Y. We could put a time symbol between the groups, but we don't have to because it's the default operation in algebra. The multiplication is just implied. So, going back to our problem, 2 times 5, if you wanted to, you could just put each of the numbers inside parentheses like this, and then you could get rid of the multiplication sign. Now this can't be confused with the number 25, and since the groups are right next to each other, you know that you need to multiply them. Of course, it might seem strange to have just one thing inside group symbols like this, but it's okay to do that in math. An alternate way that you could do the same thing would be to put just one of the numbers in parentheses, like this. Again, you won't confuse this with a 2-digit number, and you know that multiplication is implied. Okay, so we've learned that algebra is a lot like arithmetic, but it involves unknown values or variables that we need to solve for. And we learned that in algebra, the multiplication sign is usually not shown because it's the default operation. You can just assume that two things right next to each other are being multiplied. But why do we even care about algebra? Is it good for anything in the real world? Or is it just a bunch of tricky problems that keep students busy in school? Actually, algebra is very useful for describing or modeling things in the real world. It's a little hard to see that when you're just looking at all these numbers and symbols on the page of a math book. But it's a lot easier to see when you start taking algebraic equations and graphing their solutions. Graphing an equation is like using its different solutions to draw simple lines and curves that can be used to describe and predict things in real life. For example, there's a whole class of equations in algebra called linear equations because they form straight lines when you graph them. Those sorts of equations could help you describe the slope of a roof or tell you how long it will take to get somewhere. Another class of algebraic equations, called quadratic equations, can be used to design telescope lenses, or describe how a ball flies through the air, or predict the growth of a population. So algebra is used all the time in fields like science, engineering, economics, and computer programming. And even though you might not need algebra to get by in your day-to-day life, so divide both sides by 3, that means x equals 42, so in 3, 2, 1, yes! Alright, now to see how much butter I need. It's still a very useful part of math. Thanks for watching Math Antics, and I'll see you next time. Learn more at...
Right, lesson number 16, length. So write this topic.
Okay, sir.
Units of length. All the words height, depth, width, and thickness describe a certain length. You have already learned that the units millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers are used to measure length. The relationship between these units are given below. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters and 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters. You have also learned to convert length given in a certain unit to another unit using the above relationships. Do the following review exercise to revise what you have learned. So now write this topic also. And මේ ටිකත් ලියාගන්න මේ දෙකම. Now do this review exercise.
Okay, sir.
Right. Fill in the blanks. 30 millimeters equal 10 millimeters plus මෙතනට මොකක්ද?
3.
3 millimeters. So now it is equal to මෙතනට
1 centimeter.
1 centimeter and 3 millimeters. So it's 1.3 centimeters. And here 45 millimeter equals this one
4 centimeters.
4 centimeters and
5 millimeters.
5 millimeters. So now it is equal to
4.5 centimeter.
4.5 centimeters. Correct. Now this one is 728 centimeters equal to
7 meters,
uh,
28 centimeters,
7 meters and 28 centimeters. So it is also equal to
7.28 meters,
7.28 meters. Correct. This one?
7 kilometers,
Mm,
75 meters,
mm,
7.075 kilometers,
right. Correct. This one 305 millimeters.
3.05 centimeters,
Correct. The fourth one 150 centimeters equal to
1.5 meters,
correct. And the seventh one 1540 meters equal to
1.54 kilometers,
correct. 5.3 centimeters equal to
53 millimeters,
53 millimeters and 3.25 meters equal to
325 centimeters,
325 centimeters. 2.375 kilometers equal to
2,375 meters.
2375 meters. Correct. Now addition of length measurement. Heading එක ලියාගන්න. Right. So the figure shows two ribbons, one red and the other blue. The red ribbon is of length 5 centimeters, 5 millimeters. Make it bigger 5 centimeters, 5 millimeters. The blue ribbon is of length 2 centimeters, 8 millimeters. The figure also shows the two ribbons pasted on a piece of paper such that one end of the blue ribbon touches the one end of the red ribbon. So let us find the length of the pasted ribbon. So you have to add those two lengths, 5 centimeters and 5 millimeters, plus 2 centimeters and 8 millimeters. So 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 ලියන්න පුළුවන්ද මෙතන?
No, sir.
No, you can't. So you have to put 3 here. මෙතන එකක් ගන්නවා. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. ඒ විදිහට තමයි add කරන්නේ. තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
Right. So write this topic and may example එක ලියගන්න. Method 2 මේක අපි centimeters වලට convert කරලා add කරන්න පුළුවන්. So 5 centimeters, 5 millimeters is equal to 5.5 centimeters. And 2 centimeters and 8 millimeters is equal to 2.8 centimeters. Centimeters වලින් ලියා ගන්න. ඊට පස්සේ 8 plus 5 is 13. මෙතන 3 දානවා. ඊට පස්සේ decimal point එක. මෙතනට එකක් ගන්නවා. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8.3. මේ විදිහටත් අපිට පුළුවන්. මේක method 2 කියලා ලියලා මේ example එක ලියාගන්න. Now consider this one 5 meters and 65 centimeters, 15 meters and 70 centimeters. So 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 6 is 13. You have to put 3 here. Method take off ganna. 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. Method take off dana and method take off kana. Method 1 plus 1 is 2. තේරුණාද?
Yes.
Right. So now do this exercise. 6 millimeters plus 12 centimeters and 3 millimeters. එතකොට කීයද ආවේ?
17 centimeters, 9 millimeters.
Right, correct. 13 centimeters and 6 millimeters plus 17 centimeters, 8 millimeters. What is the answer?
31 centimeters, 4 millimeters.
Right, correct. 4 meters and 35 centimeters plus 7 meters plus 80 centimeters. So what is the correct answer?
12 meters, 15 centimeters.
Correct. 7 kilometers and 70 meters plus 1 kilometer and 5 meters. So what is the answer?
4 kilometers, 75 meters.
Right, good. මේකේ අපිට මෙතන 7 දැම්මට පස්සේ අපිට දැන් මෙතන අපි 4 තිබ්බනම් 7 plus 4 is 11 එක දාලා ආයි අනිත් එක මෙතනම දානවා මෙහෙට ගන්න නෑ මොකද මෙතන අපිට GDs 3ක් ලියන්න පුළුවන් තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
Right. And the fifth one 2 kilometers 780 meters plus 1 kilometer 530 meters. What is the answer?
4 kilometers, 310 meters.
That's correct. 57 centimeters 8 millimeters plus 8 centimeter and 7 millimeters plus 12 centimeters and 7 millimeters. What is the answer?
79 centimeters, 2 millimeters.
Right, good. 8 meters 53 centimeters plus 7 meters 75 centimeters 7 meters 75 centimeters plus 4 meters and 2 centimeters. Look at that.
20 meters, 30 centimeters.
Good. 1 kilometer 730 meters plus 4 kilometers and 20 meters plus 950 meters. Here that.
6 kilometers, 700 meters.
Right, good. And the second one, Nipuna travels 1 kilometer and 370 meters from his house to the bus hold by bicycle. From there, he travels 5 kilometers and 680 meters to school by bus. Find the total distance Nipura travels when going to school from his house.
7 kilometers, 50 meters.
Correct. A ribbon cut into 3 pieces in order to make a wall hanging. First piece is equal to 12 centimeters and 8 millimeters, and the second piece is equal to 8 centimeters and 4 millimeters, and the third piece is equal to 4 centimeters. So in order to cut all the above pieces, what is the minimum length of the ribbon that is required?
25 centimeters, 2 millimeters.
Right, good. There are 3 ribbon rods of the same 3 iron rod of the same type of length 1 meter and 23 centimeters, 2 meters and 9 centimeters, 1 meter and 73 centimeters respectively. A new rod can be made by selecting 2 of these rods and soldering them together without altering their original length. Find the length of the longest rod that can be made in this manner.
3 meters, 32 centimeters.
3 meters
32 centimeters.
Give me a minute.
Okay, sir.
No. You have to add longest again 2 meters and 9 centimeters plus make a 1 meter and 73 centimeters.
Centimeters.
ඒ දෙක අරන් ඇඩ් කරලා කියන්න.
Okay, sir. 3 meters 82 centimeters.
Right, correct. And find the length of the shortest rod that can be made in this manner.
2 meters 9 centimeters.
2 meters.
9 centimeters.
මේක හරියට add කරන්න 1 meter and 23 centimeters plus 1 meter and 73 centimeters. So when you add those two numbers, how much will you get?
2 meters 96 centimeters.
2 meters 96 centimeters. Right, correct. Subtraction of length. Write this topic.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Right. So 5.5 minus 1.8. Metan 0 දැම්මත් එකයි නැදත් එකයි. So 0 minus 0 is 0 and you can't subtract 8 from 5. So you have to take 1 from this side. So this will become 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. And here 4 minus 1 is 3. තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
මේක meters වලට convert කරලා ලියන්නත් පුළුවන් නැත්නම් meters and centimeters අරගෙන 0 minus 0 is 0 මෙතන 15 වලින් 8 අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ මේකෙන් එකක් ගන්න එපෙන්නේ. So 15 minus 8 is 7 and 4 minus 1 is 3. Understood? Now here 32 centimeters and 3 millimeters. We got to run on 7 centimeters 5 meters. So you have to subtract this one 7 centimeters 5 millimeters from 32 centimeters 3 millimeters. So but you can't subtract 5 from 3. So what will you have to do now?
Take 1 from the other centimeter side.
Yeah, you have to take 1 from here. So when you take 1 from here, this will become 13.
13.
13 minus 5 is 8. And here there is only 31
1.
here. So 1 only 7 අඩු කරන්න බෑනේ. So you have to take 1 from this one. So 11 minus 7 is 4. And here මෙතන
2.
එකක් දුන්නාම දෙකනේ ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ. So it's 24 centimeters and 8
8
millimeters.
millimeters.
So write this one also. 2 centimeters and 5 millimeters. So what is the answer?
8 centimeters 3 millimeters.
Alright, good. 15 centimeters and 5 millimeters minus 9 millimeters. What is the answer?
14 centimeters 4 millimeters.
4. You can't subtract 5 from 9 from 5, no? So you have to get 1 from here. So 15 minus 9 is 6. So it's 14 centimeters and 6 millimeters.
Yes, sir.
Right. 7 meters and 85 centimeters minus 4 meters and 75 centimeters. What is the answer?
3 meters 10 centimeters.
Right, good. 75 meters and 5 centimeters minus 57 meters and 85 centimeters. So what is the answer?
17 meters 20 centimeters.
Good. 12 kilometers 300 meters minus 8 kilometers 500 meters. What is the answer?
3 kilometers 800 meters.
Good. 24 kilometers and 75 meters minus 15 kilometers and 350 meters. What is the answer?
8 kilometers 725 meters.
Alright, good. Ruvini is 1 meter and 35 centimeters tall. Guyana is 1 meter and 48 centimeters tall. By how many centimeters is Guyana taller than Ruvini?
13 centimeters.
Good. From a piece of cloth of length 35 meters in a shop, a length of 20 meters, 80 centimeters, 20 meters and 80 centimeters was sold. Find the length of the remaining cloth.
14 meters 20 centimeters.
Good. Right. A water tank is 1 meter and 30 centimeters deep. Water is filled to a height of 80 centimeters in this tank. We want to fill the tank completely. To do this, what is the height, the water that must be added now?
50 centimeters.
Right, good. A worker is assigned to dig a trench of length 15 meters. On a particular day, he digs a length of 3 meters and 40 centimeters. Find the length of the trench remaining from him to dig.
11 meters 60 centimeters.
Good. During an inter-house sport meet of a school, it was required to run a distance of 10 kilometers for the marathon. Nisham participated in this event after running a distance of 8 kilometers, 800 8 kilometers and 850 meters. He was injured and could not complete the race. Find the remaining distance that Nisham should have run to complete the race.
1 kilometer 150 meters.
Right, very good. Right. ඊළඟට තියෙනවා multiplication and division of measurement of length. So write this topic and this one also.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right, multiplication of a measurement of length by a whole number. So when you multiply 1 meters and 80 centimeters by 8, so now 8 into 0 is 0, 8 into 8 is 64. So you have to put 4 here. මෙතන 64 දාන්න බෑනේ.
Bye.
So then you have to take this 6, this here. And first you have to multiply 1 by 8. 1 into 8 is 8. And then you have to add that 6. So 8 plus 6 is 14.
14.
Right. So now write this method, this one.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right. Now this one 180 centimeters into 8. 8 into 0 is 0. 8 into 8 is 64. So මෙතන 10ක් ගන්නවා. 8 into 1 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. It's the same thing. මෙතන meters and centimeters වලින් අරන් අපි multiply කරේ. මෙතන centimeters වලින් අරගෙන multiply කරේ. තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
මේකත් ලියා ගන්න example එක. 12. So 12 into 5 is 60. You can put 0 here. මෙතන 10ක් ගන්න ඕනේ. 12 into 7 is 84 plus 6 is 90. You have to put 0 here and you have to take 9 here. 12 into 1 is 12. 12 plus 9 is 21. මෙතන 21 දාන්න පුළුවන්ද?
No.
No, you can't. So you have to put 1 here and you have to take 2 this side. So 12 into 3 is 36. 36 plus 2 is 38. මෙතන දෙකක් ගෙනාම අපි මේ දෙක ඇඩ් කරලා වැඩි කරන්නේ නැහැ. අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා වැඩි කරලා තමයි මේ දෙක ඇඩ් කරන්නේ. තේරුණාද?
Yes, sir.
Right. So write this one also.
Okay.
5 meters and 2 millimeters multiplied by 5. So what is the answer?
26 centimeters, 0 millimeter.
Good. 12 centimeters, 7 millimeters multiplied by 5.
63 centimeters, 5 millimeters.
Good. 5 meters, 25 centimeters multiplied by 7.
36 meters, 75 centimeters.
Good. 2 meters and 50 centimeters multiplied by 15.
37 meters, 5 centimeters.
Good. 35 kilometers and 7 meters multiplied by 6.
210 kilometers, 42 meters.
Correct. 2 kilometers, 450 meters multiplied by 16.
39 kilometers, 210 meters.
2 kilometers and 450 meters multiplied by 16. Again?
39 kilometers, 210 meters.
No, it's not correct. 210 නාවේ කොහොමද? ආයි හදන්න එක.
Okay. Second one is 10 meters, 80 centimeters.
Correct. And answer for the third one?
87 centimeters, 5 millimeters.
12 centimeters and 5 millimeters into 7. 87 centimeters and 5 millimeters. Correct. Fourth one. In a playground, the running tracks are straight as shown in the figure. Along the edge of the running track, flags are displayed 5 meters, 25 centimeters apart, as shown in the figure. There are 21 such flags. How many such 5 meters, 25 centimeter gaps are there along the row of flags?
20.
Yeah. Find the distance between the first and the last flag.
110 meters, 25 centimeters.
Right. Correct. Right. This one you have to multiply by 20 නේද? මෙතන gaps 20 නේ තියෙන්නේ.
Yes, sir.
So you have to multiply by
20.
20. 5 meters and 25 centimeters. You have to multiply by 20. ඒක answer එක කියන්නේ. Right. And the fifth and 12 tiles are stacked one on top of the another. Each tile is of thickness 2 centimeters or millimeters. Find the height of the stack of tiles.
24 centimeters, 48 millimeters.
2.4 2 centimeters and 4 millimeters. You have to multiply this one by 12. එක ආයි කරලා බලන්න.
Okay.
$48 කියන්නේ millimeters එක. You have to convert it to meters, centimeters. No?
Okay, sir. $28 centimeters and 8 millimeters.
Not correct. To get to the second floor of a two-story house, it is necessary to climb 35 steps, each of height 15.75 centimeters. Find how many centimeters above the first floor the second floor is located.
530.25 centimeters.
No, it's not correct. You have to multiply 15.75 by 35.
Yes, sir.
So do it again.
Okay, sir. $551.25.
Correct. Express this height in meters.
55.125.
No. 500 centimeters is 5 meters. So it's 5.5125 meters.
Okay, sir.
And next we have division of a measurement of length by a whole number. Write this topic.
Okay.
Right. So now there are two methods to do this. Now 5 meters and 46 centimeters. So you have to divide this by 2. Then you can convert this to centimeters and divide. So it's 546 centimeters and you can divide this by 2. With a normal අපි divide කරන විදියට මෙහෙම ඉරි ගහලා divide කරන්න පුළුවන්. So 2 into 2 is 4, 5 minus 4 is 1. මේ හතර මෙතනට ගන්නවා. So හතරට දෙකේවා හතක් තියෙනවා. 7 into 2 is 14, 14 minus 14 is 0 and you have to take this 6 here. හයට දෙකේව 3යි 3 දාන උඩින් 3 into 2 is 6, so the remainder is 0. So the answer is 273.
3 centimeters.
Yeah. And මේ විදිහටත් පුළුවන්. Meters වෙනමයි centimeters වෙනමයි. එතකොට 5 meters වලට අපිට තියෙනවානේ දෙකේව දෙක. 2 into 2 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. ඊට පස්සේ 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So 100 centimeters plus 46 centimeters is equal to 146 centimeters. Now you can divide this by 2. So for 14 there are එතන දෙකේව තියෙනවනේ 7ක් 7 into 2 is 14 and 14 14ක් ගියම් බින්දයි මේ 6 ගන්නවා 6ට දෙකේව 3යි so it's 2 meters and 73 centimeters තේරුණාද
Yes, sir.
මේ methods දෙකම ලියාගන්න
Okay. 3 centimeters, 6 millimeters.
right now the second one 43 centimeters 2 millimeters equals
432 millimeters.
yeah so then 43 millimeters 43 centimeters 2 millimeters divided by 12 equals
432 millimeters divided by 12.
and so what is the answer
36 millimeters, 3 centimeters, 6 millimeters.
okay and the second one 15 centimeters and 6 millimeters divided by 3 what is the answer
52
52 මොනවලින්ද
52 millimeters.
52 millimeters 96 centimeters and 6 millimeters divided by 7
138 millimeters.
right 12 meters and 48 centimeters divided by 8
156 centimeters.
right 205 meters and 70 centimeters divided by 10
2057 centimeters.
right 2 kilometers and 750 meters divided by 5
550 meters.
correct if
So we didn't do the fifth.
fifth one 8 kilometers and 40 8 kilometers and 40 meters divided by 3
280 meters.
8 kilometers and 40 meters it's not correct එකයි හදලා බලන්න
Okay.
that is 8040 meters not 8400 it's 8040 meters you have to divide 8040 meters by 3
Okay, so 2680.
right correct so what is the answer for the next one the third question
The third question's answer is 1.4 meters. Sorry, so that's the fourth one. The third one's answer is 2.5 meters.
no the third one you have to divide 8 meters by 20 so 8 meters is equal to 800 centimeters so 800 divided by 20 is equal to 40
Yes, sir, I have done it the other way. I have divided 20 by 8.
so that's wrong ඒක හදාගන්න
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
and what is the answer for the fourth question
1.4 meters.
correct and the next one
Next one, it is 7 meters.
7 meters. You have to divide this 14 by 5. There are 5 gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to divide 14 by 5.
Okay, sir.
ඒක හදන්න ටක් ගන්න.
2.8,
2.8, correct. And the last one,
24 centimeters.
24, it's 57.6 meters. So when you convert this, you will get 5,760 centimeters. So you have to divide 5,760 by 24.
Yes,
කීයද
sir.
කීයද එතකොට එන්නේ?
240 centimeters.
240.
24,120 meters.
8,040 divided by 3. අටට තුනේම කීයක් තියනවද?
දෙකයි.
දෙකයි. එතකොට 3 into 2 is 6. So 8 minus 6 is 2. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට එන්නේ 20. 20 වල තුනේම කීයක් තියනවද?
5.
20 වලට 3 into 6. ඒක ආයි divide කරන්න හරියට. 8,040, you have to divide 8,040 by 3.
Okay.